Ta-da!
In an age of destruction, where life is held captive by fire and sword, courage and honor still remain in legendary battles.
Hello gamers, Matthew here from Grey Army Gaming in lovely Lund, Sweden. For today's legendary battles, we will be fighting 1500 points of the Skaven versus 1500 points of the Empire in battle line. Now, if you've been following us here at Grey Army Gaming in recent weeks, you've noticed that we've been making something of a transition over to painted armies. We are starting up a Mordheim series where we'll be using painted figurines, and also the Wars of the Old World series will also be a painted army series. Now, despite that, I still wanted to hold on to this beautiful classic legendary battles series with these wonderful Grey armies that we have before us today. So what we're going to do today is play out this battle line scenario in which the Empire and the Skaven come crashing into each other in the outskirts of the Empire. It should be interesting to see what happens. I'm excited to see which one of these 1500 point armies come out on the top. Now, before we take a look at the armies and before we take a look at the setup, let's of course first take a look at the legend itself.
The ground has begun to tremble from the vibrations at the feet of thousands of rat warriors. Tucked away on the edge of the ruined village of Fjellheim is the small Empire force, waiting in anticipation for the coming onslaught. A fog with a harsh scent of black powder floats across the Imperial war machines, while the armor of the spearmen and cavalry glimmer in the dancing rays of the morning sun. A roar is heard in the distance as giant Rat Ogres bound through the forest, flanked by terrible Skaven war machines. The gaze of the resolute soldiers of the Empire is met by the 1,000 bloodshot eyes of slaves and clanrats. A horrible crackling sound, like approaching lightning, emanates from the front lines as the mighty Skaven Gray Seer summons his magical bolts and terrifying plumes of green. The Empire hangs together by a thread. The civilized world is collapsing. The Vermin invasion has begun.
And here's our first army, 1500 points of Skaven. Alright, we can start out with our heroes here and our leaders. We've got the Gray Seer, who is going to be our general level 4, and he will have a total of 3 warpstone tokens. He's got the Talisman of Preservation, and he's also got a Dispel Scroll. We rolled for 4 spells. We've got Wither, Vermintide, Plague, Cloud of Corruption. Joining him now, we have a Warlock Engineer here with level 1 Warp Lightning spell, and we also have a Chieftain who is going to be our BSB, and the Chieftain has the Talisman of Protection for a 6+ ward save. For core now, we've got over here a total of 60 clanrats with light armor, hand weapon, and shields, and along with them they will have the Poison Wind Mortar, which will be connected to that group. Over here we have a group of 60 slaves, and they have spears and shields, and that will be the center of our core. For special, we're going to run 6 Rat Ogres here with 2 of their Packmasters, and for rare we've got 1 Doom Wheel in the back here, and we've got 1 Warp Lightning Cannon, and finally to top it off we've got this group of 6 Giant Rats with a Packmaster Handler. So there you go, 1500 points of the Skaven. And here now we have 1500 points of the Empire. Leading the Empire now, we have our General, who is on a Warhorse. He has the Talisman of Protection. Joining him, we have a level 4 Battle Wizard Lord, and he has the 4 spells of the Dwellers Below, Throne of Vines, Flesh to Stone, and Regrowth, and he has the Talisman of Preservation. And finally, for our BSB, we have a Captain of the Empire. For core now, we have got 10 gunners over here. We've got 10 archers that will be set up in skirmish formation. Over here we have a total of 55 spearmen, and they have musician and standard. And over here we have knights of the inner circle, 9 total. And finally, for special here, we have got a mortar, we've got a great cannon, and for our rare choice, we have got a Hellblaster volley cannon. So there you go, 1,500 points of the Empire. Alright, here's our setup for today. We are going to be playing on a 4-foot by 6-foot battle mat. And this comes from the wonderful company GameMat.eu. Their Forgotten Realm battle mat. Looks really beautiful. Alright, so here we have the deployment all ready to go. The Skaven chose this side. So we've got our, right here, we've got our set of Skaven slaves. We've got our BSB in the front there. Over here we've got our clanrats with our Gray Seer. And we've got the poison wind mortar there. On this side we've got our giant rats ready to go, and we've got our doom wheel ready to face down the Empire for some flanking action. And finally over here we've got our rats, we've got our warlock engineer, and over here in the corner getting some cover behind that wall is going to be our warp lightning cannon. Facing down the Skaven now, on the other side we have our Empire setup. Across here now we have got our general here along with our inner circle knights. We come over here, we have got our spearmen, and we have our BSB on the end here. Facing down the doom wheel, hopefully we've got some shooting action going on here. They'll be able to take that doom wheel out. We've got 10 gunners here. We've got our Hellblaster volley cannon here. Over here we've got our great cannon. Over on the other side now we've got our 10 archers set up in their skirmish formation. And up on top of this building we have got our excuse me, what the heck is that thing called? Hello Matthew, it's called the mortar, of course. So there you go, that is our Empire setup facing down the Skaven. Now the Skaven were able to deploy first, so let's go ahead and roll off to see who gets the first turn. Skaven finished deploying first, they get +1 to their roll. Here we go. And the Skaven will begin. Turn 1, Skaven. Alright, let's go over to the movement phase here. And we have no charges to declare, but we have to run over here to our doom wheel and do some movement here in the compulsory. Let's go ahead and turn this thing right here and head it straight over to that unit of spearmen. And we'll go ahead and roll 3d6. Terrible start, 4 inches. Alright, here comes the mighty doom wheel with its massive 4-inch move. There we go. Remaining moves, let's go ahead and do some marching. Let's start out with these guys right here, and let's march them straight up their 12-inch march. Alright, there we go. Sliding these all up together. Massive movement here. Hopefully they won't get in the way of the doom wheel. And we'll throw our 2 packmasters on the side. Alright, next thing, let's march these guys up, but let's keep them outside of the 15-inch range of those knights. We don't want them to be able to charge us so easily. So we'll move all those guys up, like so. Bring our wind mortar blaster right here alongside them. And yeah, that looks pretty good. And finally, let's run over here and we will take our little rat dart here. Let's send that around this rock. So we'll do a slight wheel and then we will go 11 inches ahead. So bring them right up to there. And finally, we'll take our warlock engineer and shift him over here. So there we go, end of the movement phase. Let's go on to magic. Skaven wins a magic, here we go. And we've got a 4, we've got 2 channels for them. Nothing, and the Empire has 1 channel. So no, it will be a total of 4 to 3. Alright, let's go ahead and cast a spell. Let's try Vermin. We'll cast from our Gray Seer here out in this direction towards them. An 8+, let's go ahead and throw 4 dice at it. We need to show a total of 4. We got it with a 10, 11, 14, 18. And the Empire will go ahead and try to throw all 3 dice at it. 10, 13, 17, so they did not dispel, and that will go off. So here we go, the large template in contact with the Gray Seer. We're moving 46 dice in this direction. Let's go ahead and see what we get. 6, 7, 8, 9 inches. And 9 inches will put the center of the template right there. So that was fortunate for the Empire. End of the magic phase. Let's go on to shooting. First off, let's run over here to our doom wheel and see if we can roll to restrain from firing our lightning bolts. We have a leadership of 7, And yes, so that will not attack those rat ogres over there. And let's run over here now and shoot our warp lightning cannon. All right, warp fire. We're gonna have this thing shoot over here at this unit with the general in it. They are well within the 48-inch range. So let's go ahead and drop down a die here 10 inches from the back corner of there. All right, there we go, 10 inches from the back of that corner. Let's shake our artillery die. Here we go. And we are going to bounce 6 inches ahead. And 6 inches will put us right there. It could not have been a better shot. It looks like it's gonna be hitting everybody. All right, this is gonna be brutal. Let's go ahead and take this off. We need to start by rolling 9 for all of the inner circle knights. So here we go. Strength 6 hit because we rolled a 6 against toughness of 4. So we're going to be wounding on 2s here. And we got them all 9. These are multiplied by d6, which doesn't matter. We only have 1 wound anyway. All right, let's go ahead and throw it on our general. Here we go. General, we're also wounding on a 2. Yes, he has a 6+ ward. No. So that entire unit was going to be taken off. Wow, an incredibly devastating shooting attack there. We'll take these guys off. That means now we need to roll leadership here and here to see if they will flee. General's dead now, so we're using the leadership of the battle wizard for an 8. Let's start over here with these guys. 8 with a reroll for the banner, and they are fine. Over here, these guys, an 8. And they are fine. So a pretty phenomenal shooting attack from that warp lightning cannon over there. We're able to take out the general and that whole unit of inner circle knights. Pretty amazing. Well, that's going to bring us to the end of the shooting phase and the end of the Skaven turn 1. Let's run over here to the Empire. Charges to declare. All right, Empire, charges to declare. We're not going to actually charge anybody. We're just going to hold back and see if we can bait them in and pick them off with some shooting. So let's not charge anything and go ahead and make some remaining moves. I think we can go ahead and slide this guy back a little bit. There we go, just a slight 2-inch pulling back, feeling the pressure from those Skaven. Let's go ahead and move our skirmishes as well. All right, here's what we're going to do with these guys. Since they're skirmishers, they can march and fire, so we're going to go ahead and march them up their normal march move, and we're going to put them right over here in the middle of the battlefield, and that way they will be able then to fire off at any one of these units. So there we go, really throwing the peasants under the bus here, but they need to protect their lines. So they're going to stand in the way and take some of those charges. All right, let's go ahead and do some magic. Here we go. And, oh, powerful magic phase. There's a 3. Do we get a channel? No channel there. Channel for the Skaven? No. So we got a 3 to a 2. All right, let's protect our little archers here. Let's cast Flesh to Stone, which will give them +2 toughness. Go ahead and throw 3 dice at it. It's an A+, so we need to show a 4. So there we got it with an 11, 15. Skaven will throw 2 dice at it. 6, no, that's a 10, so it will go off. These little guys now have a +2 to their toughness. All right, on the shooting phase, we got some good shooting we can do here. We've got these guys, and a cannon over here, as well as our mortar over here. So let's go ahead and we'll start off with the mortar up in the tower. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fire this thing off right here, and we will aim right for the head of the Gray Seer. On second thought, let's see here. Let's actually move that back a little bit. Let's move it back to the 3rd clan rat there so we can actually try to hit everything. All right, here we go. Let's roll this out and see if we hit. No, 6 inches this direction. All right, 6 inches. We're still going to be able to hit 9 of these guys. We've got our Gray Seer in here who can take a look out, sir. Let's go ahead and roll that off. And he is fine, so we will have 9 clan rats. So that'll be 9 here, hitting on 4s. Excuse me, wounding on 4s. So we've got, wow, pretty decent. 2, 4, 6, 7 total. Multiple wounds, but doesn't matter. We'll take 7 guys off the back here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, let's keep moving down the line here. Let's take these 10 guys and we'll fire them into, let's go into the same unit there. We've got 10 shots. We moved. Short range though, so ballistic skill 3, 4. We're hitting on 5s. And not too bad. There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Wounding now on 4s. And nothing. All right, let's go over here next to these gunners. They haven't moved. Let's go ahead and shoot into this unit here. Gonna be long range. So they are going to be hitting on 5s. 10 shots on 5s. And not too bad there either. We've got 4 hits. And let's go ahead and allocate these on 5s or 6s. They hit the Packmasters. Otherwise, it's on the Rat Ogres. So all of them go on the Rat Ogres. All right, handgun, strength 4. We're going to be wounding on 4s. Look at that! Wow, and no armor save. So we are going to lose 1 guy off the back. And we also going to take a wound on another guy, so that will drop him down to 2. Fantastic shooting. Well, let's not stop a good thing here, and let's go ahead and take this volley cannon. We're going to shoot right into that same unit. All right, so here we go. 3 artillery dice to see what happens. And look at that, all the shots go off, so a total of 8 shots. Okay, here we go. 8 shots. We're going to be hitting on 4s. And not a great roll. We got 3 of them. Let's allocate those again. 5, 6 were on the Packmaster. So we have 2 on Packmasters and 1 on the Rat Ogre. All right, starting off the Rat Ogre, wounding on 3s. Yes, so that will drop this guy down to 1 wound. Packmasters now wounding on 2s. And yes, that means both of our Packmasters are going to go down, which is a big problem now for the Rat Ogres. They'll have to test for stupidity now at the start of their turn. And finally now let's run over here to this great cannon. We will point that right at the Doom Wheel. See if we can take that off. Let's go 10 inches from the back of the Doom Wheel base. On second thought, we put it 8 inches from the back of the base. Let's go ahead and see how much we overshoot by 6 inches, and that will bounce us 4. So that will take us 2 inches out and bounce us right through. All right, here we go. Wounding on 2s. No, unbelievable, no wound. So that Doom Wheel is safe this round to live and roll on for another turn. All right, so with that pathetic shot from the cannon, that brings us to the end of the shooting phase, the end of the Empire turn 1. So let's run over here now and go over to Skaven turn 2. Alright, as we get started with this turn, I noticed that I forgot to shoot with our poison wind mortar here. We'll have to make sure we don't forget that now in this Skaven turn. Alright, let's go ahead and roll off first for stupidity for these guys. Since they lost their Packmasters, they now have to roll for stupidity using the general's leadership of 9. No, they are stupid and they are going to stumble ahead. How far? 2 inches. All right, that's huge. That's essentially a failed charge for these guys. So they will not be able to charge into their enemies this turn. All right, charges to declare. Here we go. Let's charge with these guys into the archers. And archers, make your flesh to stone count. They're gonna hold. All right, that's the only charge we have. So let's go ahead and see if we can make it in there. 10 inches, no problem. So when these guys come crashing up, these skirmishers will pull together into tight ranks, a tight formation, like so, and we will come into base contact. There we go. Compulsory moves, let's run over here to our Doom Wheel and see if we can actually slide right past this corner. We're going to head him in the direction of our spearmen there and see if we can actually get a little closer. 3d6, here we go. A total of 7, 8 inches. So better than last time, but still not close enough to really have us get into any combat. So there we go, 8 inches. Doom Wheel has moved. Remaining moves, let's go ahead now and just slide these guys up here. We won't march them, we'll just bring them up their normal move. Let's move our Warlock Engineer over here. And last of all, let's go ahead and we're gonna march these guys up. Slight wheel, like so. And then the remaining of their 9 inches. And that will bring us up right here. Winds of Magic here for the Skaven. Wow, powerful roll. And do we have any channels? There's 1 channel, no. 2 channels, no. Any channels for the Empire? Yes, a channel there. So we have a total of 11 to 7. All right, start us off. Let's go ahead and cast Plague, casting value of 13 plus. This guy over onto this unit, we have a range of 18 inches. Let's go ahead and throw 6 dice at it, why not? We got 6 dice for this. Here we go. And look at that, a quadruple miscast. So that definitely goes on. All right, let's go ahead and resolve the spell before we do the miscast. The way this works is each one of these models now has to take a toughness test. If failed, it takes a single wound. Let's start out here with our, let's see, with our mage. Toughness 4, so he's fine, and our BSB a 5, no, so he will take one. That'll bring our captain down to a single wound now. And now we have to go ahead and try 55 strength tests on those Empire spearmen. And by strength I actually mean toughness. So toughness test, toughness of 3, if we roll a 4, 5, or 6, they will be removed because they only have 1 wound. Let's run on to the other side and do this one at a time. All right, here the first 25, we are going to be failing on a 4, 5, or 6. So let's remove all of our 1s, 2s, and 3s. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So that gives us a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Let's roll it again. And 5 more for 55, removing the 1s and the 2s. So that's an additional 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, so a massive 26 guys. And there you see the carnage in the back. Wow, that is a massive spell. So let's go ahead and roll a leadership test here to see if they stick around. They are fine with a 7. Of course, we still have to resolve our miscast, so let's go ahead and roll on the miscast table for that Gray Seer. Here we go! And it is a 7. That'll be detonation. So we have all models in base contact with the wizard suffer a strength 10 hit. In addition, d6 dice are lost from the pool. Let's roll that right now. So we lose 2, we're down to 4 dice. Correction, we are down to 3 dice. So here we go, wounding on 2s. Yeah, 3 clanrats will be killed. Not a bad spell since we have our Gray Seer on the end of the unit like that. Yes, but the fun is not over yet. We still have 3 more dice to be able to cast another spell. So let's go ahead and try Vermin now. Same Gray Seer. We're not going to use our Warlock Engineer. And let's have it go off into that same unit. See if we can wear it down. 3 dice. Here we go. That's an 11 plus our 4, so 15. We're going to throw 6 dice at it for the Empire and see if we can dispel that. And no problem. So that is dispelled. That brings us to the end of the magic phase and the end of that carnage on that unit. Let's go over to shooting now. First off, let's test over here. Leadership, we do not want to shoot our own Rat Ogres, and they actually do. So they're going to shoot lightning bolts into the Rat Ogres. 3 bolts now at strength 2, so that's not too bad. 6s, so nothing goes on there. Good. Let's run over here now and do our poison wind mortar before we forget that guy. And let's have him shoot over here at that unit as well. Alright, let's get this small template over here. And let's go ahead and try to center it like this, which would hit 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 guys. And would include our BSB and our wizard. They'd have to do a lookout. So. All right, let's roll it out. Here we go. And it's a misfire. All right, this is where things get fun. Let's roll on the misfire chart. It's a 1. A 1 is a foomph, it says here. Place the large round template centered on the weapons team. Models touched by the blast are wounded on a 4+ with no armor saves allowed. The wind mortar is then removed. That is horrible. So let's put the big template here. And 4+, they are removed. So with this template, we see we're going to hit 8 clanrats, and we're also going to hit 1 Rat Ogre. So on a 4+, the Rat Ogre takes a wound. No, he's fine, and then let's roll for 8 of these. Here we go. An 8. On a 4+, they're removed. So there are 2 of them that will come off the back. So let's take them off the back rank here. We've still got so many clanrats. That's not really going to make any impact on us. All right, let's run over here and take some shots with our warp fire cannon. All right, here we are. We are actually within range, just barely, of that mortar over there. So we'll go ahead and take a shot on that. Let's turn this guy here and face it a little bit. And let's roll off. Let's see, let's put that thing 10 inches from the back base of the cannon there. So let's go ahead and roll the first die, and it goes 2 inches forward of that and bounces. Aye, misfire. All right, here we go, warp lightning cannon. Let's go ahead and take a shot over here at our mortar crew up in the tower. And let's go ahead and put that shot 10 inches from the base there. We can turn this thing around a little bit and roll our first artillery die. It will go 8 over that point, so bouncing then misfire. Alright, that misfire die means that the energy then dissipates and crackles, and this does nothing that turn. Now I realize that in the previous use of this I actually misused it. I wasn't quite following the rules correctly, because what you need to do is take the second number and actually move the template that amount of distance. So when we had our knights over here, the template would have moved a little bit and it wouldn't have been a center hit. So I think we can go ahead actually and roll that again and see what would have happened. All right, let's roll that out here. Yeah, 2 inches. So what would have happened over here is that the template would have continued 2 inches backwards, but that wouldn't have really changed anything because it still would have hit all of the horses, all of the knights there. So actually that wouldn't have changed anything. I just want to make sure that we had the rules correct there, and we'll try not to make that mistake in the future. All right, well with that we are done with our shooting phase. And we have combat now. Alright, combat phase. The only combat we have here is between these archers and this massive unit of Skaven slaves. Let's start out with our chieftain here. He has 3 attacks. Hitting on 3s, we'll take that one. But we have our flesh to stone archers here, so we're actually going to need 5s here, and we do not get any wounds. Alright, we've got 9 of these Skaven slaves. They're going to be hitting on 4s. And because of the flesh to stone, they're going to be wounding on 6s. So nothing. Wow. 10 attacks coming back. We're going to be hitting on 3s and wounding on 4s. And so there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll take those 5 off the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, combat resolution here. We did 5 wounds. From the Empire on the Skaven. However, the Skaven charged, and they have 2 kinds of banners, and they have 1, 2, 3 rank bonus. So the Empire actually is going to lose by 1. All right, they are within the range of their banner and their general, so we need an 8 on a reroll. Fails the first and gets the second. Those guys will be sticking around to fight another round of combat. Well, that brings us to the end of the Skaven turn. Let's run over to Empire. Charges to declare. Alright, we've got no charges to declare. Let's do some remaining moves. There's not much we really can do at this point. Let's continue to be kind of weak and move back a couple inches here, and hopefully our guns will be able to do some shooting that can take off some of these Skaven forces. Winds of Magic. And there is an 8. Do we get a channel? No. 2 channels for the Skaven. Yes, they get 1. So we will have an 8 to a 7. Alright, let's start us off by doing Throne of Vines. And let's throw 2 dice at it. We got it 6, a 10. Skaven know it's coming, so they're going to roll 1 at it. And a 9, so they don't get it. So Throne of Vines goes off here. Lower attribute will gain a wound back on our captain there. And now for the, of course, Dwellers Below. Let's go with this. Dwellers Below here over onto that unit there. We're going to throw 6 dice at it. We're hoping here for a miscast, and we got it. Now the miscast means that he can't use his Dispel Scroll, so that is going to go off. Here we go, folks. All right, let's start out with the Gray Seer here on a 4, 5, or 6. He is gone. He is safe. That means we have a total of 45 more strength tests to take here. 4, 5, or 6s, they are gone. All right, here are the first 20 rolls. So that's a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, and 25 more. All right, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 more. That brings us up to a total of 27 clanrats dead. All right, that means we'll take away these 20, these 25, and then we'll put 2 of these back here. They're gonna need to definitely take a panic test after that. All right, attack. Leadership 10, here we go. And no, but they have a reroll for the banner. And with that resolved, we have to run over here now and figure out the miscast. All right, here we go. And that is an 8, which will be magical feedback. Alright, so strength 6 hit on the wizard on a 2. Yes, so he'll take a wound and he'll lose d6 dice, 3
and there are
dice.
no dice left anyway in the pool, so that'll bring us to the end of the magic phase. Let's go on to shooting. Alright, this might be what will save the Empire. Let's go ahead and take a shot with this mortar, and we're going to go put it right over here into the center of that unit. Alright, if we put the template down here, we'll see that we're going to hit every single one of those soldiers in there. So let's go ahead and roll this off and see what happens. Direct hit.
Clanrat in the center on a 2, yep. And let's see, let's go for our Gray Seer here. He can't take a look out, sir, because everybody's involved. And he's going to get hit on a 6, and he is fine. Let's do all the rest of the Clanrats now. Wounding on 5s. Alright, that's 11 hits, and it's armor piercing, but they do have a shield and some armor, so we got 11 saves on 6s. They're going to save 3 of those, which means they take 8 wounds. There's 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, that will take care of that last row in the back, so they're going to have to take a leadership test here. Drop down to an 8 with a reroll. They got it. Alright, let's thing we can do here. Let's take this volley cannon and let's shoot some shots into those rat ogres. 3 artillery dice, here we go, and we've got 1 misfire that cuts those in half, so that will be 2 measly shots. On 4s. There's 1 and wounding on a 3. So 1 wound, that's enough to take that guy out. Let's actually have the gunners continue here on the same rat ogres. Let's have them taking 10 shots here, and they are going to be hitting on 4s. So 1, 2, 3s can be removed. So there we have 4 shots. Wounding now on 4s. And there's 2 wounds, so that guy will be down to 1 wound. And finally, let's run over here and take this cannon. Let's have this cannon shoot at the doom wheel again. And we'll go once again 8 inches from the back corner. 8 inches, that'll put us right about here. First shot bounces over, hits right on the doom wheel, and it will go through 2 inches. So that will be a direct hit. Here we go, wounding on a 2. Oh, goodness gracious. This is the worst cannon ever. You need to retire. Nothing there. Well, that's the end of the shooting phase now for the Empire, and wow, that's going to bring us into our combat. Here's our single combat we have going on right now. Alright, starting with our chieftain here, 3 attacks where we're going to be hitting on 3s. There is 1 measly attack and wounding on 3s, no! Alright, 14 attacks from the spears, and they are going to be hitting on 4s. Wow, so there's quite a few misses there as well. 2, 4, 6. Wounding on 4s. And there are 3 wounds. And we have the possibility of a save for the light armor on a 6. So we'll take 2 guys here. Correction, I never gave them light armor, so actually 3 guys will be killed with there. 7 attacks now. We're going to be hitting on 3s, and we will be wounding on 4s. So there is only 1 6 plus wound. Save for the shield. No, so we'll lose 1 clanrat. Excuse me, 1 slave. Combat resolution now. The Empire did 1 kill, but we did 1, 2, 3 back on them. We've got 2 types of banners for the Skaven, and we've got a 3 rank bonus for a total of 2, 4, 6, 7. So that'll be Snake Eyes to stick around with a reroll. Here we go. First one fails, second one fails as well. So these guys are going to flee, they will pursue. The flee roll is going to be 10 inches, and the pursuit, let's grab 2 dice here, will be 7 inches. So we'll go 10 and 7. And there's how that will end up in the end after all of our flee and pursuit. Well, that brings us to the end of the combat phase for the Empire and the end of Empire turn. Let's run over here now and flip us over to game turn 3. Skaven. Let's see what you got. Start us off. Let's roll for these guys on their stupidity test on a leadership of 8. They are fine. So let's go ahead and declare some charges. Alright, first off, let's go ahead and declare a charge with these giant rats onto that unit there, and they will have to continue running. Let's get a couple dice. They're going to go a total of 5 inches. That won't be enough to get them off, but close. Next, we're going to go ahead and declare a charge with these guys onto that unit. They are still in their front arc. It clips that guy right there, and they will be in the front of these guys. They're going to have to go ahead and hold. Next, let's declare a charge here with this unit. We're going to send them into that gun, and they will have to hold. And finally, let's go ahead and charge here with these Rat Ogres. We're going to send them into that unit of gunners. Gunners are not slow to fire, so they will do a stand and shoot. So 10 shots hitting on 5s because of the stand and shoot. So 5s and 6s, we only got 3 there. So a total of 3. And wounding on 4s. So there are 2 wounds. And we'll take this guy out, and we will do 1 more wound to this guy here. So we'll bring him down to 2. All right, here we go. Let's roll out some of these charges. Let's start over here with these guys. They are going to need a 6. Oh, no problem. Massive 12. So they will wheel straight ahead, connect, close the door, and we can go ahead and do a fear check when we get in combat there. The second one here, no, we're going to need to roll an 8. It's a little bit further, and no, it's a 7, so we're going to fail ahead 4. So wheeling to face the enemy, and 4 inches ahead right there. This next one over here, we can't fail. We are within range. A 5 will be more than enough. This is going to be interesting now though, because we are going to get in their front rank, but we're going to have to do a little finagling here. We can start by wheeling like this, and that will get us past those giant rats if the movement tray doesn't bump it. Not quite 90 degrees, but we'll come crashing in like so, and we will then begin to turn like this. And we will get to the point where we're an inch away from this unit, and then because we can't close the door, then this unit here will have to close the door into us, like so. And finally now over here, we're going to need an 8 to catch them. No, that's a failed charge of 4. Compulsory moves, let's go over here to this doom wheel, and we will turn that doom wheel and head them right into those guys right there. Make sure we have a nice straight line. Here we go, 3d6, it might be possible. Let's get a big roll. Wow, look at that, unbelievable, 17 inches. Let's measure that out. And 17 is actually, in fact, just enough to get us in. So we'll come crashing in like this, and we will close the door like so. Wow, successful movement for the doom wheel. That's huge there, so we'll have to do some impact hits now when we start that combat. Let's go ahead and do some remaining moves. Let's see, let's begin by marching this guy, our Warblock Engineer. Let's march him up behind our unit. He hasn't really done too much this game. And next, let's see, does he have a line of sight? Actually, let's move him a little bit over this way. And then let's go ahead and also we'll bring him over here, and he can hopefully get off a shot on them. All right, so here we go, Winds of Magic, into the magic phase. Wow, we've got an impressive 9. Do we have any channels for them? Yes, we have 1, so a 10. And any channels for these guys? No. All right, so that's a 10 to 5 dice here for the magic phase. All right, to start us off here, let's go ahead and cast Warp Lightning. We'll have this guy cast it over onto that unit right there. It's casting value of a 6, so let's go ahead and throw 2 dice at it. There's a 7 and an 8. They'll let it go off. All right, so the successful casting of that spell, that will hit them there, and we have d6 strength 5 hits, so there's 3 strength 5 hits. Wounding on 2s, so there are 2 wounds. 2 guys in the back will come off, and that leaves 5 left. All right, next thing, let's go ahead and cast Wither. We're gonna have our Gray Seer there. No, where's our Gray Seer? Our Gray Seer right here, sorry. We're going to have our Gray Seer cast Wither onto that unit. Even though they're in combat, we can still cast it. And it's an 8. Let's go ahead and throw 2 dice at it so we get it with a 9. And the Empire will let that one go off as well and save their last 5 dice. So that's a -1 toughness now to everyone in that unit. Now, last of all, let's take our remaining 5 dice and go for Plague. We are going to cast Plague onto the same spearmen unit, and we'll throw 5 dice at it. We need a 13 plus, and there we get a 10, 21, 25. And once again, this Plague can also be cast on any unit that's in combat. So 25, let's go ahead and throw all of our remaining dice for the Empire at it. No, we didn't get any automatic. 10, 12, 15, 19. So that will go off. Plague will successfully go off on that unit of spearmen. As before now, we'll be taking a wound on our BSB, a nope, and a wound on our mage, yes, so he'll be down to 2. And then we have to take 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 more toughness tests. All right, here we go, 19 tests. Well, it could have went a lot worse. We only lost to 6 guys there, so we'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 off the back there. It could have went a lot worse than that. They'll still need to take a panic test on that. Or excuse me, they're in combat, so there is no panic test needed. Alright, so that's the end of the magic phase. Now let's head over to Skaven shooting phase. We've got this guy right here who can take a shot, this guy as well with his pistol, and we have our cannon here. Let's start over here with our cannon, and we will shoot once again over here onto that. Alright, 10 inches from the back of their base there, and it's a misfire. Alright, we're gonna have to go over here onto the misfire chart and roll to see what we got here, and we got a 3 energy overload. Let's see here. Roll the scatter dice and turn the cannon to face the direction. Roll to resolve the shot at maximum strength 10 that emanates from the barrel and travels along the ground in a straight line at 46. So let's go ahead and see which direction this thing goes and where it shoots 46. Alright, there we go, and shooting off this direction, off the table, so it will do no damage. Alright, bringing us back over here. I forgot this guy blew up last round, so he can't shoot. He's not even on the board anymore. Let's take him off. But this guy, of course, has 1 shot with his pistol. We'll have to measure and see if they're actually in range, though. And they're actually outside of the 12-inch range of the pistol, so he cannot fire. And that'll bring us now to the end of the shooting phase for the Skaven. Alright, let's go ahead to the close combat. We've got a couple close combats right here, and right here, and right here. So let's go ahead and start with those Rat Ogres. Alright, fear check for the gunners. And they failed. Are they within range of their banner? No, they are not. So they are going to fear Alright, we are frenzied here, so we've got 12 attacks onto those gunners. 12 attacks hitting on 3s. Oh, not as good as they would have hoped. And wounding now on 2s. And so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All 6 of those go. So we will lose this whole back row and 1 more. Alright, 4 attacks coming back. We need 5s. There's 1, and we need a 5 to wound. No. So these guys are going to lose combat by, let's see, 6 here. And they are going to, actually 7 because of the flee. So we need double 1s. No, close, but they're going to turn around and flee. How far are they going to go? 4 inches. Our Rat Ogres will chase them down, and they will go 4 inches and catch them. And that's where they'll end up after they cut the gunners. Next combat, let's run over here and resolve the impact hits first of this doom wheel coming into the gun. Alright, here we go. D6 plus 1. We got 4 of those, and they are going to be getting them on a 5. So 1 wound. So 1 of the crew members is removed. And then we have 2d6 random attacks on the doom wheel. 4 attacks. We're going to need 4s here to hit nothing at all. Crew coming back. Alright, we got 2 attacks. Weapon skill, we're hitting on 4s. 2 hits and wounding on 6s. That's the roll we needed for our wounds. We did 1 wound then. And that brings the doom wheel down to 4 wounds. And let's take our last combat. Let's run over here and take this massive block of slaves onto the spearmen. Alright, we've got no challenges to declare here. So let's go ahead and have our chieftain start out highest initiative. 3 attacks into the unit. Alright, here we go. Hitting on 3s. Oh, wounding on 3s. And there we go. Too strong for a save, so we'll pull 1 guy off. Next, we have the captain. He'll be attacking back. Same thing here. 3s and 3s. We've got 3 there. And 3, no, only 1 wound. So 1 clanrat off the back. And now we have the next initiative order. Let's have the clanrats, the slaves. They have spears, so we have 5, 10, 14 total into the unit. Alright, here we go. We're going to be hitting on 4s. And that looks pretty decent. And we'll be wounding as well on 4s. Not too bad. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have a 5+ save because we have shield and armor. 5+ save, so only 3 more go down. So we'll take 1, 2, 3 off the back. And finally now we have 6 of the spearmen attacking back on 3s to hit and 4s to wound. There are 2, and we have a 6+ save. Oh, look at that. We got them all, so nothing there. All right, time for combat resolution. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 kills by the Skaven. They had a charge, and they have 2 kinds of banners. In response, the Empire did 1 kill, and they have 2 kinds of banners. Oh, but I forgot about also the Skaven have 3 ranks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They beat them by 7. All right, that means that the Empire needs Snake Eyes with a reroll. There's the first one is gone, and here we go. Can they get this one? No, they can't. So they're going to turn around and run a total of, oh, there's their Snake Eyes. Oh, look at that, 2 inches. And the Skaven will pursue for a 7 inches. That means this unit is destroyed, wiped off. Their general now, or their mage is gone. Their BSB is gone. Their banner's gone. And really what that means is they only have a couple small units left. Let's take a look at what's left on the table. All right, so here's how things sit at the end of that combat. We are in the bottom of game turn 3, and things are not looking good for the Empire. All they have left is this unit of archers that is fleeing. They'll be off the table soon enough. And then we have just a war machine here. We have a war machine over on this side, and then of course over here we have a war machine in the tower. The Skaven, in contrast, well, they do have a war machine over here that is entirely intact, and they have got their warlock engineer. They've got this unit here of giant rats and 2 units of slaves and clanrats. They've got their generals intact. A doom wheel here. These guys, these giant ogres, are rat ogres about to turn on that war machine. So without any question, the Skaven have proven victorious in this battle, in this Vermintide invasion. The Empire put up a good fight, but they were just simply no match for the overwhelming power of the Skaven. And just a quick note here as we wrap up, I realized that as we played this battle report, I made a few rules errors. For example, in the dispelling, I didn't add up all the wizard levels all the time in the dispel attempts. Hopefully none of these errors really affected the game in too drastic of a way, and hopefully you were still able to enjoy the battle report. It's been a while since I played Skaven, and it's been a while since we've had a legendary battle, so I'm getting right back into it as quickly as I can to try and remember all the small details. But hopefully in the future in Grey Army Gaming we'll be playing a lot more of Fantasy 8th Edition along with Mordheim, so hopefully our rules errors will get fewer and fewer as we go and as the gameplay gets better and better. So thank you for your patience, and thank you for putting up with a gamer who loves this game and who's trying to struggle through getting things right for all of you. But thank you for joining us for this battle report. Well, there you have it, folks. A battle line battle between 1,500 points of the Empire and 1,500 points of the Skaven. Well, please stay tuned for more good content here at Grey Army Gaming in the future. We've got some great Mordheim content coming up, also some Wars of the Old World content, and in the future we'll also continue with some more legendary battles. Well, thank you for joining us here today at Grey Army Gaming, where Grey can always play.